Briar is a champion I assumed took no skill to play because she literally targets enemies for you. But after talking to Logan Jungle, literally the best Briar in the world, and playing Briar for myself, I realized she's a lot harder than I originally thought. So for the next 10 hours, I'm gonna try to learn Briar in 3 steps. First, normal games, second, do some research, and third, play some ranked games. I'm doing this because I'm trying to learn every champion so one day, I can make the greatest Viego video ever. So, what runes and build should you go on Briar? For your runes, you pretty much always go press the attack. It's super easy to get 3 attacks off for extra burst, but Conqueror is usable too. The best build for Briar is Rush Titanic Hydra, then build Black Cleaver, and the other items are a little bit more situational, but should probably be one of these items. And yes, I know there is a crit build, a lethality build, and an on-hit build, but this one came personally recommended by Logan Jungle, who, again, is the best Briar in the world. Anyway, on to some normal games. Well, remember how I said at the start I thought Briar was going to be easy? Easiest game of my life, baby! Well, my very first game with Briar definitely made me believe that was true. I barely even had to click buttons here, and even when I accidentally pressed buttons, the fight just magically worked out. Oh, I'm the best! Also, did I need to ult Vayne here? No. But honestly, fuck Vayne tops, it was about sending a message. Anyway, back to learning Briar. Even though I was doing super well this game, I had my first I can't stop moment and just ran under tower and died. No, it still kills me, but like, this champion can't be balanced. I literally started this fight with 600 HP and not only killed Udyr, but also killed Yuumi and almost killed Jinx. Oh, wait, I killed her. Honestly, as far as first games go, this was probably one of my best ones ever. I mean, Briar must be like the easiest champion in the game, right? I did nothing that game, dude. But more on that later. I'm going to just keep destroying people with Briar for now. Cause like, what's the counterplay here if I'm not even playing? Unfortunately, my beginner's luck ran out and I started to struggle with Briar a little bit. You see, up until this point, when I pressed W, I killed people. But I discovered that that's not always what happens. And I was also starting to have a lot more I can't stop moments. Oh, I don't have my E! Dude, what? Seriously, as cool as it is to not really have to control Briar, it is so weird not being able to control Briar. Like, my brain just lags and I'm like, why am I not stopping here? I also learned your W is not a very good escape tool because you just immediately turn around and start hitting the enemy again. And even when my W wasn't getting me killed, I was constantly forgetting to just press my E so I'd stop running. Wait, I have to press my E to stop it. But yeah, I started to learn the, downsides of Briar when I was behind. Just die, And it was this game I realized Briar might be a little bit harder than I thought. But despite my issues with Briar's kit, I will say her insane healing and stats make her early game ganks so strong, even if I mess them up a little bit. And all of this doesn't even include her global ult, which basically just allows you to join any fight at a moment's notice. Unfortunately, I was still just not used to the I can't stop moments and kept forgetting to press my E until I was way too deep and I'd just die. But sometimes you don't want to stop, especially when it's just a 1v1, which Briar usually wins. I also learned a new interaction that got me killed. You can't change your ult target even if you use your W. I tried to change my target to Karma here, but clearly that just didn't work. So I decided to play one more game and, Scion has Smite, Fiddlesticks is Masters. I hate this game. So, yeah, this game was not going to be fun. They might actually just be, oh my gosh, and they're gone. They're actually gone. Eventually, I was able to punish Scion on Fiddlesticks for constantly invading me, and I was finally able to play the game. And luckily, I had one of my funniest deaths ever this game, which completely got rid of all my team. Ah! What? All right, you know what? Tilt aside, that was fucking hilarious. So, with my mental restored and I was actually able to farm my camps again, I was ready to get my revenge on the enemy team. Now, it was my turn to start invading the enemy jungle and start killing them. Yeah, doesn't feel very good, does it, Fiddlesticks? Well, that game was, interesting. After these games, I realized Briar can't stop. So I did some research on YouTube and here's what I found. 1. When clearing the jungle, let the camps die to your bleed at about 100 HP. It actually saves a lot of time from camp to camp. To increase your clear speed and your DPS against enemies, go W, auto, Q. Your Q is an auto attack reset and gives you armor pen, so the sooner you use it, the better. 3. Use your ult after CC to make it easier to land. Don't just blindly use it for ganks. However, you can blindly use it in big team fights because there's so much chaos it'll probably hit someone. And 4, you don't always have to hold your E. If you just tap it, it's like an 80% slow and it still does decent damage and cancels your W. Anyway, on to some ranked games. Unfortunately, after all these tips, I still struggled in my first ranked game, but I'm gonna blame the fact that Master Yi kinda counters me. Let me explain. You see, his Q cancels my W because he disappears and I don't have a target anymore, so I lose all of my attack speed and my extra healing. And because I fell behind early game, I tried to go a tankier build, which did no damage and it only made the game go worse. Look, I don't think this matchup was unwinnable, I just wasn't totally sure how to play the matchup, and we all know what happens when Master Yi gets ahead early. But it's fine, next game will be better. It did not go better. I think my issue with Briar right now is I just overestimate how strong she is. Like, she is strong, but I just blindly run at people thinking that my stats and healing will just win me the fight. And again, behind Briar is barely even a champion. So at this point, I have to figure out how to use her strong early game to make aggressive plays without going too aggressive, dying, and falling super behind, like this. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed her aggressive playstyle and constantly trying to fight. I just needed to change my "I can't stop" mindset a little bit. Lucky for me, the Briar GOAT was watching my stream and decided to get in a Discord call and help me out a little bit. Logan helped me speed up my jungle clear with his recommended pathing, showed me some important mechanics and combos to help me increase my damage even more, and helped with my mindset of planning ahead so my W didn't just kill me most of the time. Honestly, he was a super chill guy, and if you want to learn more about Briar, check him out after finishing this video, of course. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this, but getting 1 hour of private coaching from the best Briar in the world made me a completely different player. Oh my gosh, W auto Q goes crazy. I mean, I wasn't perfect, but I had a better game plan and was way more confident mechanically. I was also getting better at not dying to the "I can't stop" moments, which allowed me to go in a few seconds later with a much better game plan. I mean, sure, I still made some overly aggressive plays like this one, but I was also making smarter plays and landing my ults more consistently. Genuinely, the amount of improvement I had in 1 hour was absolutely absurd, and I was starting to kind of dominate my games. Even if I still made some dumb plays like flashing over a wall just to immediately run back because my W was still active. I'm an idiot! I had my W on! And when I'm super far ahead, the "I can't stop" problem for me becomes an "I can't be stopped" problem for the enemy team. I mean, honestly, when you get super far ahead with Briar, there is like nothing the enemy team can do. I have 3 forms of CC, incredible healing, great damage, and the Bruiser build gives me enough HP to survive most burst damage. I literally just hard carried this fight and the entire game. Again, just a big thanks to Logan because I really felt like a different player after his coaching session. I mean, maybe I still would have improved either way, but him telling me to plan every W was just so important. Like here, I made sure to walk past Shen so my W would hit Jinx instead of accidentally hitting Shen. Or how I instantly repositioned with Flash to hit Varus in this fight. I probably should have flashed first just in case, but I was greedy with my flash. I mean, I was finally playing the way enemy Briars always seemed to play against me, and I just kept winning. And last but not least, I was getting more comfortable with my damage overall, fully understanding how strong Briar is in early fights. I mean, I was already playing aggressive, probably more than I should have, but now that I knew what I was doing and what fights I could take, I was able to just build massive leads early and snowball the game. And I was also getting better at figuring out if I was gonna die in a fight or not. Like, sure, I died here, but I knew I was going to die. I just wanted to engage a winning fight for my team. And we got 2. This isn't to say I won every game. I mean, I'm only human, and in the heat of the moment, I was still going to make some bad plays. But even in the games I lost, I was pretty happy with how I played most of the time. Like this game, I do end up losing, but for most of the game, I was the one bright spot on our team, keeping us competitive in fights. And even during losses, I was learning some funny Briar interactions. For example, if I land my ult on someone, then get Mordekaiser ulted, I'll start hitting Mordekaiser instead. However, when Mordekaiser's ult goes away... Wait!
I went back to chasing her? Wait a minute.
But funny interactions aside, when the enemy team is up 23 kills, 6 towers in almost every objective, there's not really much you can do. And there were still a few games where I played less than good. Maybe it was just the frustration from last game, or the overconfidence from winning like 5 games in a row, but I did crash back down to earth eventually. But no matter the excuse, even I should know you can't steal an objective from a freaking Nunu. I mean, I just made a video on Nunu. Anyway, I did just end up losing a few games, played badly, and was getting frustrated with my lack of control on Briar again. But I knew I just needed to refocus myself because feeling like I lack control is something I've experienced my whole life. Sometimes it was sports, sometimes it was school, and sometimes it was the expectations other people had of me. During those times, I would always focus on what I could control, studying as much as I could in school, playing as hard as I could in sports, and just managing all the expectations people had of me, even if it still meant I failed the test or lost the game.
Okay, we keep going.
And even now, with things like YouTube, I can't always control how many views I get, and that can be super stressful sometimes. Like, sometimes it's all I can think about. But even though you can't always control Briar, there are things you can control, like when to go in, when to wait for your teammates, what items to buy, and anything else that just makes the game easier. Like here, I see the enemy team on the map, so I know I can just win this 1v1, even if I can't technically control my character. Or this 1v1, because I saw the rest of the enemy team mid, Draven was all alone.
I actually almost died there, is crazy.
Sure, I had another I can't stop moment right after because I wanted the cannon minion, but that's fine. And would you look at that? I'm starting to win again. Going into my final hour, I felt super confident on Briar. I understood her mechanics, I understood her damage, and most importantly, I understood her mindset. I definitely went into this challenge completely underestimating Briar, thinking her lack of control meant she just lacked skill. And honestly, I'm pretty happy that I was proven wrong about all that. Sure, I got frustrated when things didn't go the way I expected, but I learned a lot about League of Legends as a whole because of it. Briar forced me to look at fights differently because I wasn't able to use mechanics to outplay bad situations. I had to plan ahead more and pay attention to the map to make sure I wouldn't be in bad situations in the first place. Like here, when I saw the entire enemy team was surrounded, I just went in and played for my team instead of randomly 1v1ing the enemy Malphite who started TPing at the start of this clip. But you know what? Sometimes it is just fun to land your ult, turn off your brain, and let Briar do the rest of the work. Just don't do it too often and you'll be fine. Oh yeah, and don't forget to limit your I can't stop moments.
Oh, I can't stop! Oh god!
Hope you all enjoyed.